because I think, again, EG is tending to play these slower lineups where they're waiting for multiple cores to come online, and there's the Bloodseeker from Mugi. They showed DI that they will punish slow tempo with this hero so effectively. What do you think EG come back with here, buddy?
I don't know. This is probably a little bit unexpected. Not by you, of course, who saw the Bloodseeker.
5 seconds remaining.
Early on.
Too many heroes that can just totally shut it down. Tournament, and the idea is it's the dead lane concept from Liquid. Takes a lot of resources to get there. Doesn't need to be babysat. I like the idea that Newbee's thinking about taking that out.
They ban ENG?
Yeah.
That's pretty curious.
Well, it's that EG would do it is actually quite curious. Because Newbee does not like that hero off lane, and Kaka's role is
5 seconds remaining.
So you ban Lone Druid, you still... Okay, they ban Bad Rider. Which is weird, because you can take it yourself. It's quite nice against the Monkey King.
Yeah.
I guess it works both ways, though, because it's really annoying to play as a Bloodseeker as well.
Both of those last two bans have thrown me a little bit.
10 seconds remaining.
Trying to look here about what are you looking at picking that those heroes counter.
Is Bane still available, by the way? Oh, Jakiro was first two banned, right, by Newbee?
Yeah, a little hard for me to see that screen, but the Bane is still in the pool. The Veno is gone, which that's the hero I was going to talk about, as both of these teams have shown strong tendencies to first phase that hero.
Yeah, there's still Puck available too for both sides. As an option, you've got Mirana.
Kind of like Puck as a block pick here for Newbee.
I'm okay with Puck Mirana. You can do your own Bane. We've seen the prevalence of like these pure 5 positions fade a little, but I think Bane is still really strong. Haven't seen anyone pick Lich in a while.
The other thing that Newbee has been doing really well lately, they've been putting, their draft sort of go in two directions. Faith either on a lane dominator like a Lich or on a hero like a Shadow Shaman or a Jakiro that has some push potential at the support position. The one thing I think you look at now, the Bloodseeker, of course, can hit buildings, but you don't have that wave clear / tower threat from your support position. So your last who picks as Newbee really do need to check that box of tower pressure.
I like that Lich pick a lot. I think it's quite good against the Monkey King to play against, but EG does eventually take the Bane.
Yeah, so let's do something dumb, and let's assume for right now a Lich Bloodseeker dual mid against a Monkey King Bane dual mid. How do you break down that line? Monkey King still advantage?
I think MK's advantage, but okay. I think that's for that reason alone you got that.
Okay. I always wonder based on that, because in the 1v1 obviously Monkey King crushes, but then once you factor in the Lich denies.
I'm down to see something like Sniper. Just like
that'd actually be sick. For SCCC?
Yeah, for Newbee.
Yeah. That checks that box of a hero that can threaten towers quite nicely. The DP would have been great, which is exactly why EG banned it.
But Newbee, they
Je vis sur le
options as Newbee. You can take something like the sniper and just straight up dual lane this.
Why?
I think that as long as their Centaur has any sort of game, they're going to have the jump. I think their team fight might be a little bit better.
Good stuff. Thank you very much, both of you. Welcome, everyone. If you're just joining us, the ESL One Hamburg, you've joined us just in time because EG versus Newbee is about to begin.
It's the Newbee versus Evil Geniuses. I'm Toby1. Amazing, the wonderful, the talented Cinderin is my co-master. You ready for this matchup?
That's a little bit too much. I'm ready.
Are you all a little bit too much?
I'm definitely ready. This
You're,
looks like
you're so humble. So humble, Cinderin.
You're just a bit too much. You can't say no to that.
I really can't. I admit what I am, and I'm loving it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this game. First of all, like they pointed out on the panel, there's a lot of history between these teams, but we also get to see some slightly different heroes in this game than what we've seen. We haven't seen very much Pugna this tournament. I don't even know if we've seen it, to be honest. I think this is the first Pugna pick. We have a Queen of Pain that's been picked once or twice, not very representative. This is the first Dragon Knight. First Centaur, I'm more or less positive that's the first Centaur. So it's like the first appearance of 4 heroes in this one single game. That's all it is.
Yeah, but some of these heroes you're starting to mention too are very comfort style heroes, like Nahaz was pointing out. KP, very well known for his Centaur play. We were looking actually who will be comfortable on the DK, but do you think he's going to do enough in that mid role? Because we were talking about other options like a sniper, for example, being a really nice choice, having some level of range. Are you concerned about Newbee's like 4 melee with a 1 hybrid range lineup?
I think the Dragon Knight is going to... it's one of those games that's a bit hard because he has one, I think, really bad matchup, but the rest of them are pretty good. Dragon Knight is good against Queen of Pain. I think Dragon Knight is fine against Pugna, especially when he gets BKB. That's a hero, an item the hero generally... but the Monkey King lane matchup is really bad. So we'll see. It doesn't look like he's even going to have that lane matchup. He will be playing against the Quap, which traditionally, if you look back like 2 years, was maybe a very Quap favorite matchup. Nowadays, they generally tend to just break even. So I think SCC will be just fine. As far as a favorite for this game, I'm a bit bigger fan of the Newbee's draft. I think Evil Geniuses will have a harder time if this game goes later on into the game, and I don't really like the composition they have with Night Stalker. I feel like this lineup that they have doesn't utilize Night Stalker's full potential the way I see it.
It does also seem a little bit fun too with the 2 heroes roaming around. moving off the lanes. This is allowing Universe just to have that solo lane down the bottom. Do you feel like Crit, like he's doing a fair job of harassment up on this? It's all come to a grinding halt now that Lich has TP'd to the top lane to change the balance. Like, is this still going to be what EG want from their early laning phase?
I think so. I feel like this is probably the best laning they can put. Like Blitz pointed out, you probably can't give all 3 players a good game, but you can try to get some good matchup. This is already a pretty good... Oh, nice dodge here from Arteezy. This is a good lane matchup. He's playing against a melee core and a melee support currently with his Monkey King, so he's going to have a great time. If they're just safe lane tri-laning, then this mid lane, they should lose 2-on-1 at least with a Bane co-op against Dragon Knight, and this gives Pugna a better time as well. Pugna is a hero that loves one matchups, especially in its own safe lane. We're seeing Universe having a great start here, 7 CS, 8 CS now, against the Bloodseeker.
Yep, fantastic for him, and well, Moog, a little bit more trouble with the equilibrium when that lane gets pulled off to the side. I'm interested to watch Karkar's movement. Like he's kind of like a big one. Karkar coming holding hands a little bit more. At the same time, you got Nightstalker playing around up inside the jungle. Fate's moving down to rolling boulder. Karkar acting Crit, who was battling it out with Fate, but now they decide to turn. But the Hoof Stomp's there from KP, connecting on both Crit and Fear, giving KP the first blood. They do pull him off the lane, but in return for the first blood, Newbee should still be happy with this.
It's a big rotation, but First Blood obviously has that extra value. If that was just a regular support, but not the First Blood, I actually don't think that's worth it. But getting the extra First Blood money is good enough. Now, EG seems to have a time in their lanes in this beginning here. The Queen of Pain is doing, obviously doubling up Dragon Knight here. That's just a result of Bane's presence in the lane in the beginning, and because of that, Fear feels confident to move away and just leave sumail alone now with that head start. The Pugna in bottom might be in trouble here. Earth Spirit did probably not connect that roll, actually. I think Earth just tried but didn't make anything of it. And in the meantime, the top lane, Centaur will be having the hardest game of Newbee's course, is fair to say. This lane is very difficult. First of all, even if it's one-on-one now, Monkey King will destroy him, but it's not even one-on-one. They're really going hard on KP.
Yeah, they brought both Bane as well as Nightstalker towards the top lane. Even without 9 creep wave under the tower, it's not going to last much longer, however, as they have decided to try and pull a little bit. And FaZe just abandoned it, so they've accepted the fact that KP have a hard time. It ensures a little bit more of a presence here for SDCC to battle against sumail. Of course, another reason too I probably see sumail in that mid is he's so comfortable in the mid roll, but 2 on that Queen of Pain. So even if the matchup isn't favorable, sumail will still want it. These other lanes, Newbee, back, but their line is pretty passive until you see that movement from Karkar really have some level of an effect. But at the moment, he's just bounty hunting. Crit and KP compete for
Nighttime. He doesn't want to fight him there.
Yep.
This Nightstalker, it's very important for this hero, in my opinion, to get at least 1 bounty rune every 2 minutes. Hero is very snowbally by nature, and I believe Crit got the set 2-minute rune, at least one of them, and now he just got the 4-minute rune. So that should close him in here on level 3. And you want to hit the level 4-minute 5 if possible. It gives you the choice between getting the silence or 2 levels in your nuke, and it opens up a lot of kill potential on pretty much all of the lanes. So that's one that I like this game. He has lanes he can gank for. He can gank, somewhat gank for a Pugna as well, but later on into the game, not the most team fight prowess, I think. It's a bit hard to imagine exactly how they initiate team fights unless they get a really, really good stun from the Monkey.
Yeah.
So.
And they'll need that too. Like having Stampede to get like Newbee out of jail free. Yeah. Newbee do have the other downside, however, where they're bringing in a lot of melee heroes into one. And with the start which we've seen onto Arteezy, this is a perfect situation for Evil Geniuses in that early fight if Newbee do want to force it. But Newbee, so like you can just frost armor up towers, make it difficult for EG to push, and then you use your Dragon Form to push as well on your side. Like, is it just this passive kind of game which both sides are happy to accept?
Yeah, and is Dragon Knight a melee hero? It's one of the questions you gotta ask yourself as well. Yeah, like I think they're a ranged hero because the majority of what it does in the game is in range form. It's melee in the lane, but every single play you make in the mid-late game as Dragon Knight always revolves around Jolt Smith. So it's a weird matchup with Monkey King because, like, if he was facing him in lane, that's really annoying. But later on into the game, it's like you have high armor.
Oh, KP's so tough. Bear will allow Crit to reposition, allow Arteezy to move over, and there is no one coming to help KP.
Fear gets the kill.
Yep. Again, Newbee. Not really reacting, they're just enjoying taking these 6-minute bounty runes for the ES every single time. It's the only way he's really finding experience, because there's no influence for Kaka. Like, with 6 minutes in, he missed a rolling boulder up on top, he looked at the middle lane, and the rest of the time, he's currently studying Bark.
And mid until Earthspirit's level 4. Unless he went 1-on-1 build, in which case they could have maybe done it with the Dragon form. Dragon Knight will be hitting 6 in just a moment.
Rupture. Kaka having a little bit of fun. The kick doesn't actually kick through. It only clears the tree lines. So Universe can just stand exactly where he is. Kaka needs to TP up, but when Fear's in the neighborhood and Crit takes flight, Kaka is toast.
That's a pretty even trade overall. You force 2 support TPs, so should open up the map a little bit to Newbee. But the thing is,
he's not even making the most of the space on top.
Like, that's the issue here, is that even those 2 supports moving bottom, usually you're, as the aggressing team there, you force 2 TPs, that opens up the lane mesh up top is the bad one. So Monkey doesn't even want to go, or rather the Centaur doesn't even want to go there anyway. So what did they really accomplish? They just lost the support without opening meaningful.
Yeah, instead they send ES up there, so he ends up taking like half of a creep wave worth of farm, as well as a bounty rune. Moogie, a little bit more trouble. The Nightmare taken off him. TP out the time for Moogie. Not enough. Crit will find the kill, and Faith will complete his TP after the Nightmare wears off. But the Nightmare is really just beginning. Evil Genius is getting back-to-back kills. 3-1 on the board, 7.5 minutes in. The lanes, the top 3 in the CS almost belong Evil Geniuses, but it's the big ones, which is Arteezy as well as Sumail, who are currently being enabled with 48-ish CS each.
EG should be very happy with the state of the game. You obviously cannot see these stats, but they have the top 2, and the hero that they are quote-unquote sacrificing is also having a pretty good game. Like, this Pugna is by no means struggling. They've kind of managed to make a game for all 3 of their cores already. And what they're really taking advantage of is this support duo of Newbee. We haven't really talked about it too much. You said it's hard for Earthspirit to find openings. It's in part because it's very hard for Earthspirit to gank the lane for Bloodseeker. Those 2 heroes just don't have immediate synergy. At this stage in the game, they do. And if your other support is a Lich, that hero has very little kill potential, except in the lane it's just parked in. So they don't really have any initiation potential, and that means EG feel confident and making the moves themselves, especially at nighttime.
Kaka hiding. That's all he can really do. At least he can soak experience up here, but there's no way they can defend that top. It's a very odd position to check. KP nightmared up after being voided with Decrepify amplification. KP, normally you'd think a Centaur's right, in case he just looked like hot butter.
And I like this move from Newbee overall, though, what they did. They realized they're losing their safe lane tower, so they immediately make a safe lane tower to get the even trade-off. They do use the Dragon form in the process and are still taking serious damage on mid. I don't think there was a better move available.
Stun onto Sumail. Boogie in through the rear. They've ruptured him up. Sumail can't escape. The blink ends up killing him. Tried to do the bit of a step blink first. Will fail on that, and well, not only do they defend their mid tower, which was difficult for EG to attack with the frost armor on it, they also get the kill on the big mid of EG.
And that was the big point that I mentioned earlier. Before. He was actually 5 here, but the silence is really big. I think a lot of people don't realize how good this spell is on level 1. The silence of Earth Spirit is actually a 2.5 second silence. The damage is pretty insignificant, but for killing a hero like Queen of Pain, this spell is extremely powerful. Oh, he's gonna find another hero here. It's Arteezy. I don't know if they have to get away here.
Stepping away from him, he's got a lot of damage. Faith, it's like they're trying to bait it out. Support's coming in because he's so low. We've got the train wreck of Moogie. A quick frost to mail in through the rear. Sonic Wave! It's Kaka as well as Faith together. Moogie, well, is it worth it? Is Arteezy really worth it? While Universe killed off KP overall? Nope.
If they would have lost 2 supports for Arteezy kill, I think it's pretty even. But losing the Centaur again, he is having a really hard time. We're 10 minutes in, he has a net worth of 2,500. Long way away from the Blink Dagger.
It's his net worth and it's his level. Like, when I was looking at before, like, he was 2 levels behind that of the Pugna. When you want to compare him, he's only just... At least his Stampede's had some level of an influence, but he's 3 levels behind Universe.
And he's such an important part of this Dire line. what I like about Newbee's lineup's ability in the mid game is that they have multiple ways of initiating. They have the Dragon Knight, who's probably going to get a Shadow Blade or a Blink Dagger. They're going to have a Blink Dagger on Centaur, and it's really nice to play Earth Spirit if there's another hero that can start the fight for you. We're actually going to see that here possibly.
They needed his stun. They're going to be able to get it. Now the Nightmare switched off. Dragon form is up, and Rupture. Get work. Arteezy has to stand his ground. The Lich holding, bouncing up to crit. Is it going to come back off the creep wave and into the heroes? Not just yet. It's only going to balance
the most
into
unlucky
everything.
chain ever.
It is them. And now KP, decrepified and blasted, loses half of his life with just that one blast. Faith, he did not pray to Gaben this morning.
Great fight, everybody. Nobody died. Faith cannot. You know, it's just one of those moments where you're like, you know, man, that sucks. I think the chain good. The real problem for Newbee in order to get a better fight than that is I think Kaka seemed a little indecisive. He was a bit slow on the kick, uncharacteristic for him, waited an extra half second, and as a result EG got to react a little bit better and spread out.
Yeah, Fierce Nightmare, that get out of jail free card. KP has to defensively stampede away Universe.
So I think at this point, obviously this does not look too good for Newbee, but the thing... Oh, yeah?
Yep, they're having a little bit of fun here with that CCC. Kaka. Here, Faith
kick him away.
There's the Quick Frost, there's the kick up. He's still ticking down, but the 2 points up in Dragon Blood, he'll reach the shrine, which actually is not available. So Sumail will end up just popping him. That shrine had another 130 seconds on it. It was nowhere near.
It's a good sign that I don't... Oh, that's a very good sign for EG. That means they're playing aggressively and making moves all the time. So I can barely string 2 sentences together before they make their next aggressive move.
You gotta stop wasting time.
So that's the tier 1 tower down, so EG gets that as well. Newbee have to get a means of initiation that's not the Earth Spirit. They need the Blink Dagger on Dragon Knight or Blink Dagger on Centaur so that follow up. It's a lot harder to play Earth Spirit as the primary engage because when you roll in, if your roll misses or if you're not in a great position to kick, it's very hard to hit multiple targets. He can instantly get counterplayed. If this Earth Spirit rolls in, he's going to get nightmared, or he's going to get silenced by the Night Stalker, or he's going to even just, you know, just get turned on. He's not very the hero right now compared to the other heroes they have, so...
Well, your double blink's going to
really
take
careful.
some time, mainly because Centaur's the only one building it. Drums is in the quick buy for the DK, so...
Yeah.
It appears like Newbee will just play reactionary Dota.
That's very difficult against Night Stalker.
That it is, especially during this nighttime phase. Arteezy's looking for ability. Just get down to the creep wave. Kaka.
He's pretending he didn't see him. I like this play.
I see nothing. Rolling boulder forward. There is support in the neighborhood. Fear and Sumail. Stampede forward, but Moogie locked down. Fear's got the Fiend's grip on him. Wukong Commander's out, and Moogie, he just doesn't have enough space. This time the Lich ulti, it can only bounce between the hero and the creeper. That absolutely wrecked Fear with the help of the dragon. Arteezy wants to move and stay inside that Wukong's command. Now it will wear off, so looking for another target, but who does Newbee go on? But Sumail blinks himself over to the lane, and Newbee have no vision on anyone until Crit walks underneath that dire Observe Ward, but with no Blink Daggers, no high maneuverability, they can't keep going. EG get away with murder.
And that's what happens if Earth Spirit is the one initiating, right? Like, he goes in, he wasn't the one dying, but the moment he has ace potential with this dire lineup, they use the Stampede and the roll to begin the fight. The moment they've done that, they have nothing left in the tank. Bloodseeker died. Nobody's going to catch anyone on the way out. EG easy and get a bottom tier 1 tower. So extending their lead, they have the top 3 net worths on the board. And I'm looking at this Newbee lineup and what they can do, and I just struggle to see it until they have a blink initiate. It doesn't have to be, like you were saying, both blinks. I don't think they need that, but they need one, and they need it soon, because this game is going to keep in EG's favor as long as they don't make big mistakes.
Well, that's still a nice stat to have up for SCCC. One of his statistically worst heroes is that list. But for now, Newbee grouping up. There is a nice Observe Ward from Evil Genius that's been watching this quite closely. Kaka again. He is really becoming one with the trees. Gets the silence. However, the follow-up kick into Sumail, who is threatening to blink away. Stampede already burned by Newbee. And the Nightmare is problematic for Bloodseeker. He's ready to be controlled. The Fiend's grip up just yet. Moogie is slow with the slap from Arteezy. 3 heroes caught, allowing Universe to decrepify blast and the 3-man Sonic Wave. It lagged. This time, however, the Lich Chain Frost doing some work. Evil Jesus, the damage they weren't really expecting, but maybe they just have enough to survive anyway. Arteezy battle looking to close the distance on the final surviving member of Newbee, or does Universe try and do it solo? He can only decrepify to slow down. Now he actually has that Soul Ring off cooldown. is back, but SEC, he'll kill off Arteezy, who came back into the fight. The drain isn't enough to bring down this 4-point Dragon Blood Knight. He's able to just survive 5, and Evil Geniuses end up actually balancing this fight by feeding the Monkey King in.
That's a big kill for the Dragon Knight to get. That was an EG favorite fight until our... And that one kill is enough to get the Dragon Knight only 1k away from the Blink. Previously, EG had the top 3 net worth. Now they barely have the top 1 anymore. He's only 200. Well, and that fight for me, from Newbee side, is all faith. He got a fantastic Chain Frost that I think it bounced like 8 times between heroes. Obviously, what's setting it up is a good stun. He was in the right position to not get caught, did not get silenced, and I think there was also a pretty clutch silence from Earth Spirit, I believe, onto the Queen of Pain. Sumail was mid-animation on Sonic and got cancelled. That Shrine off and actually extended the fight long enough for that Chain Frost. So a couple of nice details there from Newbee, allowing them to not get wiped.
It's a good fight to add to the highlight reel.
Yep.
That Blink Dagger is now up, so KP was able to afford it first, so just 17 minutes into the game, the Blink Dagger is now up for Newbee, and this is how it always feels too when Newbee run this Earth Spirit. Kaka ineffective in the first like 5 to 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden everything just starts hitting. The levels come up, and you get his cores actually being that front liner, which is exactly what's going to happen in this game. Maybe making space where Mugi can do something. He's still, as far as the 3 cores of EG, underneath the net worth, but a couple of kills, some good ruptures, and they can close the distance. And maybe Rupture Kick, get that Monkey King out of his Wukong command, allow Newbee forward.
That's a very good point about Earth Spirit as a hero. It actually has 3 counters to Monkey King. It's not the easiest ones. I think the silence is out of all of them. No, don't worry about it, Toby. I'll tell you later.
Stampede is up. Hey, you never can finish a thought. That KP jumps in. They look to go in. The perfect kick and the follow-up from SCCC. Surviving Arteezy, Wukong Commander's up. He's right on the edge of it, however. Have they got any way to get him out? No, they don't. Not when SCCC is trapped in by the Fiend Script. KP will jump back in once. The magnetize, the slow tick damage onto EG is so high, and now a great jump away. At least Sumail makes sure the Chain Frost won't continue to bounce, allowing Universe and Sumail cut around into Mugi, bringing down a 3-for-3 fight. Only the supports of Newbee survive.
Great Fiend Script from Fear. I think that's the they still, I think, end up getting a bit of a net loss. No, that's even. Okay. 100 gold win for EG, whoop-de-doo. But you saw that was, and that's got to be concerning. When he gets a Blink Dagger and he can just jump and start the fight for EG, they have to be very careful with how they respond. That time, the full Fiend Script, if they can't get that off, it's not realistic to expect Fear to get these off consistently, so they need to have a different plan as well for how to deal with it. Now, in that fight, I don't think, but Arteezy, it's not the easiest thing in the world to play Monkey King against Earth Spirit, because Earth Spirit has three abilities that destroy the trees. The easiest one is Geometry. If you see him jumping into a tree, you can instantly stone pull and he gets stunned for 4 seconds. That's something that makes, sometimes you don't really think of it that way when you, because even if Arteezy never gets caught by it in the game, that doesn't mean it doesn't affect him, because it might impact how he feels like he can go. He will be in a worse position every fight, but and then because of that, he doesn't get the best Monkey King ults. All of those things definitely add up over the course of a game. So
he has the advantage, at least, that
he has the Night Stalker vision.
The Night Stalker restricts the vision of EG. Newbee have no flying vision, so even a good observer ward will make it difficult. But you're right, he doesn't know exactly, if he did get scouted at, or he pounces up on top of a tree. This will allow Kaka to play that reactionary style of game. And with initiating items starting to arrive in for Newbee, we don't yet, over on SCCC, he's actually going to go for the Shadow Blade as his initiator and leave KP to have the Blink Dagger. Normally too, Kaka will also go for his own Blink. Still have the double Blinks, but this makes life very difficult for EG's positioning, both Fear, but also, as you said, Arteezy. But that's where the Night Stalker's meant. This is one of the games too where you think about changing the build on crit. I don't know if you want to get Ags or not.
It's an awkward item to buy for Night Stalker just because of how expensive. And the build-up doesn't really offer him much. So until you have that full 4.2k, it's like getting a little bit of extra health on Night Stalker is actually very inconsequential compared to a lot of other. Night Stalker in the first place doesn't want to run in and be in the center of the fight and tank damage. He wants to play the outskirts, he wants to consistently silence and void heroes, and catch off supports. So I generally don't like the axe build on Night Stalker anymore. The way the heroes play it makes way more sense to go for what he's doing right now, Solar Crest type of build.
So put the
amazing this game. It looks like they don't have any plan of getting that. But Newbee has recovered well. Let's look at that, because they were 4K behind, I think, about 10 minutes ago, and now they've managed to pull it back to about 2. They have their key items, and this is when we get to see whether EG can put together the kind of team fight that they need. Because now with new tools, I just flat out favor them in fights.
Yep.
EG might have to try to play a little bit of a split, or at least get a really good jump because of Night Stalker vision.
Do you wonder too if go down the same road as their matchup with Team Secret did, where you're like, okay, this game, if it goes longer, like, we're out, so you need to push now. You use Universe's Pugna to toss down the lanes and try and get into the fights.
I think this time it's not as black and white as the EG game or the Secret game was. That it was just fairly obvious that EG's late game was worse. In this game, definitely a higher chance, even if it goes very late.
Moogie, it's such bait.
Good nightmare.
Yep, it's gonna start it off. Maybe Crit showing himself now. KP will jump in. They trigger the Nether Ward. Damage, but already they delete the Night Stalker, but the 3-man stuff from Arteezy. Newbee need to get out of this one, but they don't have the Stampede. Fiend Strip, they tried to make him get invis and try and protect SCCC, but it won't be enough, and KP's in way too deep. The Lich ulti bouncing around. Will it come back up again? Again, no, it gets absorbed by the creep wave. Sumail is a double kill. It's a man kick silence with the Geomagnet grip, and Fear magnetizes, slowly bringing him down. The following kick, they're creating more and more space, but Sumail still has the triple. Kaka will rolling boulder TP away. Moogie so low. Sumail goes in for the ultra kill under the tier 3 tower. And Newbee, they willingly went in, but regret the decision.
That was such a long fight, and they never used Sonic Wave. I think he got silenced twice by the Earth Spirit, and in the end he's just like, didn't need it. So, EG. I think what's important in that fight is that the way the Centaur engages, using Stampede and blinking in first. Oh, hang on, Universe, you're kind of alone here.
Yeah, there's no bike, so rolling ball forward, Kaka can keep up the chase because he now has his own blink dagger, but KP, he doesn't actually connect to decrepify the Sonic Wave. The before is now able to seal the doom with the Centaur. Kaka will fall down as well, like dominoes. Newbee are dying. Faith has to come back in from the TPing in, but now decrepify, the blast, the drain. There isn't enough regeneration in the world to protect you there, Dragon Knight.
Next level bait. If he got stumped by Centaur there, he would have just died, but just barely outranged it. The support came in and it turned into 3 kills.
Arteezy's now returned the Nightmare Faith under the blast. They can see him now thanks to the dust, so the Glimmer Cape doesn't protect him enough. But they're backing up EG. They claim the tier 3 tower, and that's only 23%.
EG really pushed an advantage right there. I think you need to remember in this moment that it was Newbee who chose to take the fight. When they jumped in with the Centaur and single hero stunned, I believe it was a Night Stalker he jumped on in the beginning of that fight. And they used Stampede and all of them ran in, but that's not the way you play. You can't just just bum rush in 3 heroes into Wukong's command. So what happens is they jump on this Night Stalker, Arteezy gets a 3-man stun, cast his ulti, and Newbee have to run. But they kind of stopped in the ring still, like they were playing around in there. Dragon Knight was tanking the Wukong's command for like 10 seconds.
And all of them were tanking the Nether Ward as well.
You can't expect to win a fight like that. That is That's why I would have liked the Dragon Knight to have a Blink Dagger, so he can jump in first, and Centaur and Earth Spirit can be the follow-ups. The Shadow Blade is an alternative, but I believe he had lead charge. If they just blink solo stun with Centaur will die.
Yeah, but now we're reaching the point too where EG's getting so far ahead that the supports are able to afford a large amount of sentry wards and gem sometime soon.
Well, here looks like he might be thinking about this top. This is a dead Centaur.
Yeah, it's Nightmare. And Sumail's nearby. Arteezy gets a slap down, crit, and Newbee understand. Again, KP slightly out of position, and EG capitalize.
This is EG's part of the map.
Look at the kill streak. It's all going the way of just Sumail and Universe.
Mid lane, Pugna.
Yep, they're able to delete him, but here comes Fear as well as Arteezy, the Fiend script, keeping that control on the... Flies through, it will miss on Fear. The damage is done, however. Moogie has already fallen, so SCCC and Kaka can run away while Arteezy picks up the double kill, picking off Faith next to that. Sumail wants to keep chasing. Not a lot of mana to work with, however, so a straight TP in from Newbee, they will be able to escape. But 2 heroes are the only things that survive after trying, like, when you get pick off on Universe, you end his killing spree. So that's nice, at least. I'm trying to look at the bright side for it. Like, you got Kaka who got... it was even Kaka got the kill on Universe. Got 717 gold for it.
That is his blink, right?
He already.
Or he had it before. He's going blade mail. Okay.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's a pretty good build on Earth Spirit.
Blink and Yule Scepter.
That's also good. It's like merits. I think most of the time you go blink into blade mail, Yules, or Ags. In this game, he probably feels like just commit in. Like somebody's going to start the fight. Kaka will follow up, cast all his spells in blade mail, and be in the center of the fight. And if he gets hit, deal some extra damage. If not, he'll get some more stones down.
So, how does Newbee now approach the game? Like, we've done the whole passive kind of counter initiation, then we've seen them go full tilt at EG and fights. Both options are not working. What's plan C?
I still don't think they've had a proper jump. I think that's the problem. I still think
so a better plan B?